Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today doing my weekly reading wrap up. How original. I believe this is week 8. I'm doing this. Going strong, no signs of stopping. So yeah, we'll talk books I've read this week, books I'm planning to read this upcoming week, any book pickups, so on and so forth. Before we hop into it, just want to say a quick shout out to everyone. Appreciate everyone watching, liking, commenting, subscribing. These videos have been very fun to make, so let's keep this gravy train going. Yeah, and if you're new here, consider subscribing. I'm got a pretty consistent upload schedule that I think I can stick to and have been sticking to for the past 2 months, so I like this pace in which I'm going at, I suppose. But yeah, let's hop right into it. At the time of recording, it's Saturday for me. I'll upload this Sunday, which is my birthday. So maybe this is my birthday weekly reading wrap up. We'll see. Yeah, turning 24. So if you saw my last video, I had to crank that one out before I turned 24. The What I'm Reading as a 23-year-old video. I'm now, at the time that you're watching this, I'm officially 24. So I'm officially old, and it's all downhill from here. Yeah, let's talk books. Probably should have had these out to begin with, but whatever. Let's talk books I've read this week, and I'll give a brief sort of overview of what I've liked about them. So still reading through this one, The Rag and Bone Shop of the Heart. Poetry collection, whatever. If you watch my, I've been reading this for like a month, and I just can't seem to. I say I read like 5 pages before I go to bed, but I haven't read this in like a week. So maybe I shouldn't have even brought it up. I haven't read it this week. Whatever. Let's talk about the worst ending. No. Yes, the worst ending. We'll call it the worst development in a book I've ever read. That's The Days at the Murasaki Bookshop by Satoshi Yagasawa. This is not going to be spoiler free. It's a short book, just go read it. Where do I even begin? I guess we'll begin with the beginning of the book. The beginning of the book was fine. First 50 pages, I was loving it. I was like, ooh, I could get used to this. Holy shit, this woman. This woman gets dumped and moves in with her uncle, who owns a small bookshop. She rediscovers her joy of reading and likes to read. There's a love interest, there's a coffee shop, there's walks around the town. It's great. There's no family drama, there's nothing. No substance whatsoever. And I'm loving it. And then boom, like right in the middle of the book, the husband's ex-wife shows up out of nowhere unannounced. And the whole story changes. It just turns into this giant family drama. Why is she back? What is she meaning to tell me? Why does she have a weird relationship with the main character? What is that all about? The scene in the bathtub, like what the hell was that? Yeah, I don't know what that was. Whatever. That was like so... Maybe the point went over my head, but I did not. I was checked out after the woman came in. Momoko, I think is her name. Yeah, that was such a disappointment. So I ended up giving it like a 3 stars. The first half of the book was very good. Sort of just what I needed. A cozy book about reading books and living in a library. Who wouldn't want to read that? Second half of it, terrible. I hated it. Whatever. Maybe it just wasn't for me. So yeah, I finished that this week. It's been a slow week of reading. Well, I guess not slow, because I just finished on audio. Obviously I don't have a physical copy of it with me. Maybe I'll remember to throw a picture up of it. I just finished I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy. It's her autobiography, and I listened to it on audio, and she's the one that's reading it, and that was amazing. Definitely check the trigger warnings on that one before you give it a read or a listen, as I did. Made the mistake, or maybe not the mistake, but made the choice to listen to it while I was cooking dinner the other day. Yeah, not a good look for me. If you know, you know. This one I won't give spoilers to because I actually like the book. This is probably my third favorite book I've read this year. I guess I've only read 12, so at the top fourth of books, it probably goes Monte Cristo, Oppenheimer, I'm Glad My Mom Died, so far. I guess sneak peek into my best books of the year. It is only March, so I wouldn't get your hopes up. But yeah, it was really good, and it was just a lot of behind the scenes into the acting world and her relationships. I grew up like watching iCarly. I was in that sort of generation. Obviously, I grew up watching that. I guess I started watching it after it was like done and it was just reruns. Because I think I started watching it when I was like 10, and that would have been basically halfway through its running cycle. So maybe I did grow up watching it. But yeah, I grew up watching iCarly, and then I guess like in 2015 or whatever, when I was in high school, stopped watching TV pretty much like cold turkey. I don't know why. I just didn't find it interesting anymore. But yeah, I watched Nickelodeon and whatnot. Sorry, my phone just died. Anyways, yeah, like I was saying, there's a lot of controversy surrounding the Nickelodeon child actors, and this just sheds some light on it. Pretty heartbreaking stuff that she went through and struggled with many years after the fact. Give it a read or a listen to, but check the trigger warnings, of course, beforehand. Great book. Yeah, so read a good book, read a not so good book this week. Hopefully this next book I'm reading this upcoming week will be good. This is The Pickwick Papers by Charles Dickens. This is my Oxford Illustrated edition. I may read his books in publication order. This was the first novel he published when he was 23. So fitting that I'll read this when I'm 24, how I am so far behind in my life. Yeah, I have it on audio as well. Maybe I'll sort of do like an immersive reading of it. We'll see. I read the first chapter like a month ago, and dropped it for whatever reason. So we'll be reading that this week. I'm also moving at the end of the week. As you can see, my bookshelf is barren besides my Charles Dickens books. So I'm just trying to pack things up. Moving at the end of the week, so new change of scenery next week, I guess. Get hyped for that. The person that commented that my windows need treatment, I guess you wanted to look at them any longer. You're welcome, I suppose. But yeah, no book pickups this week. Well, we'll see. Maybe I get some for my birthday. Those will be in next week's reading recap. Yeah, no book pickups this week as I'm trying to limit because I'm moving. Packed them all up into boxes and I have a lot, so we need to pump the brakes a little bit on those. Yeah, work's going well, or maybe it's not, but work is work. I have a job, that's good. I'm moving, that's also good. And I'm reading good books, which is most important. What else? What else is new? Nothing, I guess. Excuse me, nothing. Well, I guess that does it. Yeah, this episode of my weekly reading recap airing on my birthday. A special one in its own right. Stay tuned. Maybe my next reading recap I'll have a haircut. So we'll see what that looks like. Maybe it'll be a mohawk for how many subscribers I'm at, like 300. That'd be pretty cool. But yeah, appreciate you watching up until this point. Consider subscribing if you aren't subscribed already. Give it a like if you liked it and things of that nature. Hope you have a great week. Thanks for being here, and we'll catch you in the next one. Thanks, guys.